Hello everyone, Jammer here. Today I'm going to do something a bit different from what I normally do. Instead of a written review, I'm going to be doing a video review. And the series I will be reviewing today is a manga series that Del Rey stopped publishing about halfway through last year. For some reason or another, it just didn't catch on enough for them to continue past that, or I'm not sure if it's Japanese or what it is exactly, but either way, the series has come to an end in America. Is it because it just wasn't any good? Find out right now in my flashback review of Toto, The Wonderful Adventure. Back when he was a little kid, Kakashi's father left him for adventures in the open world and never returned. Since then, all Kakashi had left of his father was the journal that he left behind, which chronicled his countless adventures. And on the last page of that journal were words that influenced Kakashi for the rest of his life. "The world is vast, so my boy, you don't need a reason. Go on an adventure." And so began Kakashi's unquenchable thirst for the outside world, but his childish escapes from his home island resulted in failure, again, and again, and again. But when the Zeppelin has an emergency stop on his home island, he finally sees this as his opportunity to escape, and stows away on board. While on board in the cargo bay, Kakashi comes across one good that he didn't expect. A cute little puppy with a strange collar around his neck. After befriending the little beast, Kakashi learns that the Zeppelin has actually been hijacked by a group of bandits known as the Man-Chicken family. After numerous events involving this and that, Kakashi escapes the Zeppelin and lands on the continent of Oz, where his true adventure begins. Along the way, Kakashi comes across numerous enemies and allies, many of whom are named after or inspired by characters from classic novels such as The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. But don't think that just because a story is heavily influenced by such classics, that it's just another remake or a reimagining. Rest assured, this is its own beast with its own style and tone. As far as shonen goes, Toto has your typical winner formula. Adventure-hungry protagonist? Check. Vast world to explore? Check. Quirky characters? Check. Lots of action? Check. But I wouldn't take this as a bad thing. There's a reason why all this is a formula. That's because it works. And although it may seem like a lazy cookie-cutter strategy, the artist Yuko Osada injects enough of his own style and perspective into the story to make it something completely his own. It feels the same, yet different somehow. As I'm sure many of you noticed by now, the art of Toto is simply fantastic. I love just looking at this manga. In some respects, it is like the typical anime style we've come to expect from Japan. But the artist has a certain way of drawing that gives each image a certain kinetic energy that I don't find very often. Obviously, this means that whenever an action scene comes along, it's going to be awesome. But even in the moments where not much is actually happening in the panels, you can feel the subtle movements. And in that sense, it reminds me greatly of Naito's work of Trigun. Although, unlike Trigun, the action in Toto is actually easy to follow. Listen to me rambling about how great I think the series is. I mean, there's something wrong with it, right? Am I ever going to get to the bad things? Actually, yes. There are two main things that I think hold this series back. And this problem is transitioning between arcs. Now, up until Volume 3, I was pretty much convinced that Toto could do no wrong. Then when the series decided to switch gears, it did so very abruptly. Your mind is running in one direction, and before you know it, the story's already begun sprinting in the exact opposite direction. I mean, it's not horrible, but it can be a bit jarring and confusing at times, to say the least. Another problem is something I guess can't really be helped as much. The ending. It is a god-awful ending. About halfway through Volume 3, we find out this huge quest that Kakashi must go on. It's something that's never really seen all the way through the series, leaving many dangling threads, including one involving his dad, and it all gets wrapped up in a way that screams, my manga got shut down before I was able to finish. On the whole, it's an excellent series that any shonen fan should pick up without a second thought. It's short, it's fun, and it'll keep you thirsty for more. I give the series an 8.5 out of 10. One last thing before I go. I'm still not entirely sure if Volume 5 is supposed to be the ending. I'm not sure if it's the end that Del Rey imposed upon it, or if it's something that the publishers in Japan pushed upon the artist, saying that it's not doing well enough, it's gotta end. Wikipedia says it's still ongoing, Del Rey says it's over, and I can't get any information off the internet, and I can't even find any scans for the series or anything about the artist, so there's pretty much no information available to me. And if you know anything, let me know. I'd be very interested to see if the artist is doing something else. Visit my blog at jammer.squarespace.com. Follow me at Twitter at twitter.com/JAMedina88. Links are in the sidebar if you want to check that out.